A vaccine mandate could be coming to San Diego County's biggest school district, the upcoming discussion that San Diego Unified is planning.
Nearly half a century after a murder in National City, an arrest. The breakthrough that finally pointed investigators to a suspect.
And a disturbing rise in the number of people making trouble on flights here in the U.S. We're going to look at the surge in disruptive behavior and how often local police have to step in.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
California's second largest school district could follow the largest in mandating COVID vaccines for students. The San Diego Unified School Board plans to discuss the potential at an upcoming meeting open to parents, students, and teachers. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. News of the board's consideration comes just 1 week after LA Unified announced its mandate. Our ABC 10 News reporter Sofia Hernandez shares what this might mean for your child.
San Diego Unified's Twitter page Thursday announcing they are asking for public discussion on the possibility of having a vaccine mandate. This announcement comes 1 week after LA Unified requiring all students 12 and up get vaccinated for in-person learning.
They're just having that conversation for the potential for them to incorporate that into their district. What do you think that conversation might be looking like come Tuesday?
Well, I do appreciate that they are putting that out there and giving notice. Parents need that transparency.
The founder of Let Them Breathe, who is pro-choice, shares her thoughts on the announcement.
Our kids have been through a lot. It's been a very chaotic and uncertain time for them. We absolutely do not feel that they should be thrown this curveball, especially after they've already started the school year.
However, the reason for this discussion, set to take place Tuesday, September 28th, still remains unknown. If approved, it's also unknown if it will follow exactly the same measures as LA Unified. Currently, SDUSD has all students wearing masks, ventilation and sanitation stations inside classrooms. Last week, School Board President Richard Barrera says these protocols have been working, yet they are always vigilant.
We think, the strategies that we have in place are the right strategies, the effective strategies. But we continue to be challenged by the reality that all of us are facing, which is, the continued surge of COVID with the surge of the Delta variant.
The board announcing it will only be an open session, no decision needing to be made, at least not yet. In San Diego, Sofia Hernandez, ABC 10 News.
So the board is expected to discuss the potential mandate at its meeting on September 28th. And our local COVID cases, they remained under 1,000 with 530 new infections reported today. But sadly, look at this number. This has been one of the deadliest weeks San Diego County has seen since the height of the pandemic last year. 11 more people locally have died from this virus. Nearly 4,000 San Diegans have died since the pandemic began.
The SEC has charged the Sweetwater Union High School District and its former CFO with misleading investors who purchased $28 million in municipal bonds. The complaint says Sweetwater and Karen Michael claimed they could cover the cost, but they knew they didn't have the funding. In 2018, the district announced a $30 million budget shortfall. 300 teachers accepted early retirement to balance the budget. It led to larger class sizes and cuts in resources. A state investigation found 302 false budget entries and 4 months of missing payroll on the books. It went as far as calling it an intentional cover-up. The district and Michael agreed on a settlement that is still pending court approval. The penalty phase for the man convicted of shooting and killing San Diego police officer Jonathan J.D. de Guzman is underway. Lawyers from both sides spent much of the day arguing about what evidence should be allowed into the penalty phase. And today, the prosecutor brought up Jesse Gomez's violent past, including an incident in 1983 when he assaulted a taxi driver.
The defendant took the cane that he was using and put it over the guy's head, and he pulled back and choked him. Mr. Hindi, that taxi cab driver, is going to testify for you today. He's going to tell you how he was afraid. He was going to tell you how he couldn't breathe, that he feared for his life.
After statements from several witnesses, the jury will decide whether to give Gomez the death penalty or life in prison without parole.
Train service is being halted between San Diego and Orange counties in order for crews to shore up unstable ground along cliffside tracks. Metrolink says it needs to perform unscheduled maintenance on railroad tracks, slightly shifting below the bluffs in San Clemente. It's been caused by beach erosion, similar to what we have seen for years in Del Mar. Work is expected to be completed by October 4th. Amtrak says it will provide bus connections between Irvine and Oceanside while the work is underway.
A San Ysidro man amazingly safe after the ceiling in his living room collapsed this morning. He told ABC 10 News he was asleep in his bedroom when he heard the terrifying crash. At one point, the man realized he was stuck and he called out for help, but no one heard him. Luckily, he was able to call 911 and the responding crews got him out safely.
Well, thank God that I wasn't here in the living room watching TV or something like that. Most of the time at this hour I'm in the living room, but then the whole thing fell down. I went to sleep and a big noise wake me up. You can see in there, man, is the whole ceiling fall down. You know, so I'm glad. Thank God that I'm alive. You know.
After he was out, fire crews got to work clearing debris from his house, shoveling it outside, and it's still not clear why the ceiling collapsed. Father Joe's Villages is partnering with United Healthcare to give people experiencing homelessness a place to stay after being discharged from the hospital. Father Joe's will use a $21,000 grant to temporarily shelter those people. According to the latest homeless count in San Diego, more than half of people living on the street have a physical disability, chronic health condition, or mental health issue.
An event in the North County this weekend will provide much needed resources for the veterans in our community. It's called Stand Down. It's taking place at the Green Oak Ranch near Vista. It will be a one-stop shop for a shopping experience, everything from clothing, shoes to eyeglasses, dental care, you name it. The event also offers a comfortable place to sleep, anything to help veterans and their families get back on their feet.
We're just providing them services and giving them the hope. We're treating them as humans, as fellow veterans. And they go, oh, I'm somebody. I am somebody. Yeah, you are. And you know what? You can turn your life around. And that's what we do here.
They are expecting about 500 veterans to show up through Sunday. Registration is requested, but it's not necessary. Unemployed veterans and service members in transition got some help finding civilian jobs today. Employers put on a job fair at the Hilton downtown, representing industries such as manufacturing, logistics, IT, and transportation. It was an in-person event open to veterans and transitioning military members along with their spouses and children.
Fashion for a cause. Designs from top international luxury brands turned heads at the 2021 Art of Fashion fundraiser at the Inn at Rancho Santa Fe today. The nonprofit, the Country Friends, put on the fashion show and luncheon in partnership with South Coast Plaza. I had the honor of emceeing. I spoke with Art of Fashion's co-chair, Yvette Letourneau, about what inspires her commitment to the Front Country Friends charity.
It's the volunteers, it's the support from the community. They love us and we love them, and they come back to our shop, our events, and they enjoy it. We enjoy being with them. It's just a community that it's about people. The Country Friends is about people.
This annual runway show and luncheon has been held at the historic Inn at Rancho Santa Fe for 66 years. It raises funds for more than 40 nonprofits in San Diego County, chosen each year by the Country Friends Board.